So with half a volt peak to peak in, I'm seeing 2.5 volts peak to peak here, 2.5 volts peak to peak here, and in the AGC circuit I expect to see 5 volts peak to peak here on IC4 and 1.5 volts peak to peak here, but on both outputs 1 and 7 of the pin I'm not seeing any AC. What I'm actually seeing there is minus 15 volts, which is supposed to be one of the outputs of that op amp, so that doesn't look good. So just to check this op amp in this op amp tester, I've got the original LF353 in here. If I turn it on, nothing much happens. That looks like an overload on one of the supply lines or something, but you need A and B to flash. Let's take that out. I've got a brand new LF353 here. Try that. Turn it on. Yeah. So that one works fine. That's IC4, which is in the AGC circuit, which I took out. Put that back in. Turn it on. Yeah, no good. Okay, we'll get it swapped. Right, I found the cause of the hum of playback head number 3. At some point I've accidentally broken the wire off the back of the head, so I'll just repair that and get rid of the hum. So, running through all the setup procedures in the manual, I'm left with a fundamental problem of my echoes aren't quite as loud as the direct signal. If I play around with the tape tension here, that's me putting more tension on, I can get twice as much, more than twice as much actually, signal out of the playback heads. So what's wrong with the tape tension? I'm going to have a look at that. So a quick update. I've started going through all the lineup procedures in the service manual. I've got to head alignments where it tells you to mechanically align all your heads and get a nice square wave for a square wave in. So what I've done is I've got system 1 down here, putting a square wave in. That's going into input 1 and then input 2, and then on the output I've got a scope probe so we can have a look and see what's coming out. So I turn it on. I'll put it to the direct signal. All the effects are off over here. So that's the square wave that's going in at about 2 volts peak to peak. If I turn the direct signal off and then put the playback number 1 head on, echo mode number 1, there we go. I'm getting about 2 volts peak to peak after I've aligned all the heads. I've gone round all these erase heads, record heads, playback 1, 2, 3, sound on silent at the back. Done all the screws, lined everything up as good as I can. I'm still getting, obviously that's varying up and down a bit. I'm not sure if that's normal, no idea, but you can see if I switch to playback head 2, playback head 3, and then 2 and back to 1 again, you can see they're all more or less the same wave shape. If I go back to the direct signal, you can see the squarish wave that I'm putting in, and then what I'm getting off the playback heads there. So I'm wondering if that's normal. I can't get a square wave off the playback heads. I don't know if it needs demagnetizing, I don't know if the heads are worn out, I'm doing something wrong at the moment, I don't know. Maybe that's as good as it gets.